This is your captain speaking. I'm here on the farm again. Got another episode for you. This time we're going to be talking about working out. And consistency working out. I've had a lot of trouble with consistency. I don't know if any of you guys have trouble with it, but I've had issues like I'll work out hard one day and then I'll lay off the next day, or I'll work hard the next day and lay off 2 days. Uh, so I've had a lot of trouble with that, and I know I need to be consistent. Like right now, I haven't worked out in 4 days, and I keep making excuses. My kid's in town from Korea, and I had to go do this. We got 4th of July coming up, stuff like that. And I make excuses for not getting to the gym. I've got yard work to do. I've got like over a bunch of acres to deal with. With tractors and stuff like that. So So I make excuses, and then I keep weighing. I weigh every other day. I'll get on the scales. And I'm like, I hope it's not. I'm kind of maintaining, but like right now, like for the last 2 weeks, I've been at the same weight, and my plan was to lose 5 more pounds. I've lost like 50 so far, so that's pretty exciting. But now I'm kind of in that stalemate. But it's probably because of all the M&Ms I eat. So anyway, so I don't know. Are any of you guys having trouble with consistency, especially with going to the gym? That's the part that's been getting to me is like, but when I go to the gym and I get to the gym and I'm working out, no matter how much I do, always feel better when I come back. And I got to tell you, the last 10 years since I've been started working out, not the last 10 years, but I've started working out the last year, and I felt better now than I was when I was in my 30s. And when I was in the Air Force, where I had to work out all the time. So, I think it's because I was lifting weights, because I really haven't lifted weights since college football. So that was in the early 90s, right? So I got with my friend who's a kinesiologist, and he said, or a kinesiology major, and he said, "Hey, man, you got to lift weights. You got to eat protein." And of course, what I was doing to lose weight, right? I was like fasting, which was great. Fasting works great if you do it properly. And I was doing that, but then I wasn't eating any. Like when I wasn't fasting, I was eating very little. I wasn't eating very much. So he's like, "Man, you got to have protein, especially over 50. I'm 53. I know I don't look it, right? But yeah, I do. But I'm 53. So I've got to have so much amount of protein a day. And I'm not going to go over what those amounts are. You can Google that anywhere you want to Google it. If you want me to go over that, maybe the next video I'll do that. I'm just not prepared to do it right now. But so yeah, I got to have so much protein a day. I got started on creatine, which has made a huge, huge difference. So I'll go over that maybe in another video too. I'm just kind of give you the outline here, or the basics of what I'm doing. If you want to know more about it, put it in the comments. Um, if not, you could grok that, Google it, or go on YouTube, and you could look up creatine. And there's some lady that goes around and she tells you exactly what you need to do. She's great. I don't know her name, but she's great. But anyway, I've been doing creatine, protein, and I've been eating a lot more, just a lot more than I'm comfortable eating, because my whole life I've had to watch my weight. I was a football player, but I'm short. I'm short and stocky. Well, when you get older, you're less short and stocky and more short and fluffy, right? So, so I've had to watch my weight my whole life. So I'm used to my whole life trying not to eat as much. Well, now in my 50s, in the later 50s, I got to eat more. I got to eat more because I got to build that strength. You don't want to lose that strength in your legs, and especially with our age, we got to have protein in our body. We've got to have a lot of protein. So that's important. But you can't eat protein and then eat a lot of carbs, or you can't eat protein and then not work out. You have to work out. Even if you're eating protein, you still got to work out. And the best thing you could do working out is weights. Weights is better than cardio. It's better than everything. So that's what I've been doing. I've been feeling great doing it, but I'm not consistent. I use this thing now, and I've talked about this on my podcast, 214 podcast. If you want to look it up, I mentioned it in a video before. But I talk about this, the 1% rule. A guy named James Clear, he's online too on all these podcasts. You can find him, or go to jamesclear.com, CLEAR.com. And he talks about the 1% rule, where you just want to do 1% a day. And whenever I find myself having trouble with consistency, this 1% rule is designed to build habits, good habits. So I'll go out and do 1%. Say I need to do a lot of yard work, and I'm like, oh man, I got all this yard work. I don't want to do it all. I'm overwhelmed. And so I don't even want to go outside, right? The 1% rule says, hey man, just go out and do like weed eat a little bit or mow the backyard. Just do something, just do a little bit and come in, and then you've done something. Whereas to before, you're so overwhelmed, you just sit on the couch, you get depressed, you eat, and you're like, nothing gets done. Well, now I'm doing something. I'm not getting it all done, but I've done more than I did yesterday, right? So that's the 1% rule. As far as going to the gym, even when I don't feel like it or I don't have time, I say, man, let's just go to the gym and do one workout. Let's just go to the gym and do one exercise, or just do one, do 5, 10, 20 minutes, whatever it is. Just do something. And we need to do something every day, whether it's walking 10 minutes, a mile, or walking on a treadmill 20, 30 minutes, or 10 minutes, or 5 minutes even. Whatever it is. So consistency is the key. A lot of bugs out here. Consistency is the key to everything that we do, no matter what we do, whether it's reading a book, reading the Bible, whatever it is, consistency. And that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm having trouble with right now, because we're like, this month has been crazy. I've had weddings, I've had Father's Day going on, we got 4th of July celebration coming up and all this stuff. And my son's been in from Korea. So we've had all this stuff going on. There's no consistency in my life right now. So if you are struggling with that, I understand. I feel you, because I'm struggling with that. We're all struggling with that, I think. You probably worse than me, because most of you probably have jobs and you don't have a lot of time. When you get off, you got kids to deal with, or when you get off, you got sports like baseball, football, softball, whatever it is your kids are doing. Or when you get off, you got other things to deal with, and you get off at 5 o'clock and whatever. At least I'm retired. I have all this time. My problem is, getting out off the couch. Your problem is having time. So we have different problems, but we're trying to get to the same ending, right? With the same destination, I would say. So I just want you to know that you're not alone. There's other people out there like you that are struggling, that are having trouble, that just need encouragement. And I'm not an expert on anything. I'm really not. I'm not pretending to be, but I just want to be here to let you know some things that I do to help my life accomplish some things, and help navigate these problems in life over 50, and to let you know that you're not alone. There's other people going through this stuff with you. No matter what phase of life we're in, there's other people our age going through this stuff. And there are a lot of, problems men over 50 face, where there's health reasons, or dealing with a younger society that's kind of pushing us out, or trying to stay in that society, in the workforce and all that stuff, and just getting older, and just the thought of getting older and closer to death, right? But that's why we got to have peace in our lives, right? We got to have Jesus. We got to be closer to Jesus, because the closer you get to Jesus, the further death gets away from you, because Jesus promises eternal life. So the closer you are to him, the further death gets away. We live forever. So if you're not close to Jesus, I ask you to bring Jesus into your heart and accept who he is, and to go somewhere, to a church, a pastor, or a friend, and say, hey, I want to take Jesus into my heart, and I want to learn about the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I want my life to get easier, because let me tell you, once you get Jesus in your life will become peaceful, and it will get a lot easier. You're still going to have problems. I mean, Lord knows the disciples had problems, right? It doesn't mean you're going to end this world okay, but you know where you're going to go in the future. So just understand, if you have no peace, if you feel like you're strained and you don't know what's going on, there's a big hole in your life, or a hole in your heart, hole in your chest. You're like, I'm doing things, but I just can't seem to get enough. I just can't seem to be happy. If you're not happy and you don't know why, it's because you don't have that inner peace. And you don't have Jesus in your life, a higher power. That's the problem with a lot of movie stars and all these people that have a lot of money and a lot of fame and a lot of power. They think that they can have it all, but the things of this world are not the things we're looking for. The things of this world are not going to get you to the next world. We are wanting the things of the next world. And the reason that is because the things of this world, once you get all the things of this world, then what? Then what are you going to do? Then what's life? I always joked with my wife that, we're in debt when we were younger. Everybody is, right? So when we were young, just got married, we were in debt. And I'm like, when we paid off our debt, and I'm like, we paid everything off. And they're like, then now what? Now what do we do? So then we get in debt again. We get in debt again. And I'm like, sometimes I think we get in debt just so that we have something to do to get out of debt. You ever feel like that? I'm like, well, that's kind of stupid. We're just getting in debt because the journey of getting out of debt. Then what do you do when you get out of debt? You buy more stuff, so you're getting in debt again. So that was kind of the cycle, So we're like, when you find Jesus, you don't have that cycle anymore because Jesus is the end. And so I just want to throw that out there. This is, I said I wasn't going to be preachy on this channel, but I do want to mention God every now and then because it's very important. And if you're not into that, you're not going to like this channel. If you're on the fence, stay with me. Hopefully I'll throw a verse out there that speaks to you, because there are verses, everything in the Bible speaks to everyone in the world. And that's what it's there for. It's our manual to life, and it'll get us to the next one. Because this isn't all there is. This is just the beginning. This is just a trial period. We're here just to say, hey, we choose you, Jesus. We choose you, God. That's why we're here. We're here to make a choice. He could easily have said, hey, everybody just come up to heaven with me, but we're here to make a choice, okay? So anyway, make your choice. Get consistent with that exercise, okay? And if you're having trouble, if you're struggling, just know you're not alone. You're not by yourself. We're all struggling. We're all going through. Even the Instagram posts might say we're perfect. The Facebook pages might say, "Oh, we're perfect." I know. I put the perfect Facebook pages up. I put pictures up, and I put like this video will have the perfect picture I can find of me for the thumbnail, right? And everything will be perfect as it can get. And then off camera, I'll be like, man, I'm so tired, or I'm so depressed, or I'm so lonely, or whatever it is. Just know what you see on TV isn't always true. Usually it's not. And what you see of me, I'm going to be straight with you. What you see of me, this is a presentation for you. The real me, you will probably never know. This is a presentation, but the presentation is what I honestly believe. And I'm being as real as I can be without showing you my bedroom and without showing you the inside of my house, without telling you how, what I whisper to my wife later at night. So, there has to be some kind of boundaries, right? So just understand that. Understand, when we're scrolling through the pages of Facebook and Instagram or whatever we're looking at, and we're constantly looking at that, we're saying, man, I wish I was on the beach like that guy. Well, that guy probably is way in debt to get on that beach, or he's pushed away his family to get there, or whatever it is. There's always something someone's going through. Someone's always going through something. Okay. So don't think that you're alone, and don't think that you're out here doing everything you can do and then everybody else is succeeding, because it's just not true. That's what Satan wants you to think. Satan wants you to think, that God's not doing anything for you. You come with me and I'll show you this beach. And I'll show you this high rise in New York City, or whatever it is. So just know you're not alone. Try to be consistent. Think about the 1%. Go check out that James Clear guy. And if you want to hear more about the 1%, I'm reading the book now, I think it's called Atomic Habits. That's the name of it. And if you watch the 214 podcast, I actually put the book up on the screen, and I'll try to put links. I haven't figured out how to do everything on this yet. This is just getting started. I haven't figured out how to put Amazon links and all that stuff in there yet, but I will. And then you can just click on it and go. Okay. So anyway, this another video down, right? So until next time, get up, get out, and get better.